Okay guys, welcome back to another news-related video. I know, the third one in a row. But this will be the last one I'll do for right now, and I'll take a break for a little bit. I do have another one I want to talk about, which is kind of controversial to people. And that'll be with Google and all that, but I'll talk about that one later. In this video, I want to talk about Paramount, and it sounds like they might be making a sequel to the Jimmy Neutron movie. You guys remember the Jimmy Neutron movie? You remember that movie that came out like decades ago? I think it came out all the way in 2002. I think, during Paramount's 90th anniversary. In fact, if you go, you buy it on DVD, you can find it with the 90 anniversary logo. I actually do have a copy of it. I don't have the disc, unfortunately. I kind of lost the disc when we were moving and all, but I do have the 90 anniversary logo on the case. Pretty cool. I don't have any with Paramount's 100th logo, but I do have that, which is pretty cool. But I want to talk about this. So, if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. And, you guys, that way you guys can keep up with my, videos. I'm trying to get to 1K subs. And, and all that. You guys can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And all that. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say. So let's go ahead and get into this, because I really want to get into this. So, you guys know I'm Jimmy Neutron. I have actually done a review on the TV show itself. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was the greatest show ever. I didn't hate it, but nor did I like it. I kind of felt like the characters were kind of eh. The animation wasn't bad, though. The animation was actually really good. It was really good. I will say that. I love the animation. But it was really good. It was also produced under, I can't remember this production here. The name of this production, it has like a monkey in it and all that. Let me actually look it up real quick. Alright, I found it. Apparently it's DNA Productions. That's the people that made it. Also, O Entertainment was involved too. I think O Entertainment is still around, but the other production company, is sadly out of business. I don't remember exactly when they went out of business, but they filed bankruptcy and went out of business years ago. But they did make some projects before they closed it down, so at least they survived a little bit longer compared to other studios I've heard about. At least they survived. Because we had Circle 7 Animation from Disney and all that too. It sadly didn't really last a long time. Honestly, it sounds like they were kind of going to replace Pixar anyway, because Pixar was going to be teaming up with them for 8 movies and all that. They were going to be done, but I would have liked it if they would have sold the company off to somebody else. That way, because a lot of these employees got ousted and all that and lost their jobs when they could have sold it off. Where this studio here actually went out of business because they lost money. They were hurting. The other company was hurting Disney, but this company here was really like it by itself. It was struggling, But I feel like they could have also maybe sold it to Paramount or something, instead of just shutting it down. But I don't know. But they did at least make some projects besides this. I think they made other ones too. But yeah, they sadly went under. So, so yeah, that's kind of the problem. But basically, Jimmy Neutron, was made under them and all that. And I will say, yeah, like I've said before, I think it was kind of hit or miss and all that for the show. I think it had some good episodes that were worthwhile, but I just didn't care for it as much, as other Nickelodeon shows that came out around that time. Like My Life as a Teenage Robot, Danny Phantom, and The Fairly Odd Parents. I just thought those shows were better. The Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron did make some crossover stuff, which is pretty cool. But now we're in 2025, and it sounds like they're gonna make a comeback. Yeah, they're gonna make a comeback, is what it sounds like. They're gonna make a comeback, and they're gonna be making a movie. I don't know about a show, but I will say, I don't know how to feel about this, honestly, and it's kind of sad if you think about it, like, in 2025, like, I'm not as excited about productions and as hyped as I used to be, like when they bring stuff back, because a lot of times it's not as good as it used to be, or it's just plain awful. And all that, it's pretty much what they do. They kind of have new people come in and all that. It's been like that forever, but it's gotten kind of worse after a while. But, we also have people who brought back, like, Charlotte's Web 2 and all that. They made a Charlotte's Web 2 after years, so I got a sequel years later. It wasn't received very well. It kind of... I've watched it. I don't remember it being awful. I did watch Saber Spark and his girlfriend. I think it was his girlfriend do a reaction to it on, Twitch and all that. I think it was Twitch. I don't remember. I personally don't watch Twitch that much just because the videos don't really last on there very long. So I'm not gonna be watching videos on there because they're not going to last, because I prefer to watch, videos that will last forever, I'm like, but I do enjoy his content, so I kind of support him sometimes, but yeah, that one kind of got taken down. That was actually, I think, made under Universal, not Paramount, but Paramount, I believe, made the original Charlotte's Web, so that's kind of weird. I guess maybe it was a different company that partnered up with them. I'm not sure. The same way with the Wizard of Oz. I think Wizard of Oz, I thought it had the Paramount logo. Maybe it didn't. I do know back in the day I saw VHS. I had VHS players and saw footage of that stuff. But I don't know. I know Wizard of Oz is in public domain. I do know that. But I don't know if it was in public domain in the 90s or not. I'm not sure. But yeah, it just feels kind of like, it seems like to be a very big habit. Not to mention we had those Disney sequels, they made a sequel, a lot of sequels to their earlier movies, they were not as good. I've seen some sequels of them, they weren't bad, but then we also had Warner Brothers who made a sequel, which I have not seen, and I'm kind of afraid to watch it, but it's a sequel to Zombie Island. Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island. And I hear it's really bad. I hear it's a really bad movie, they ruined it. So, yeah. Hold on a second, my dog is coming inside, hang on. Sorry about that. My dog wasn't coming earlier and all that, and I actually meant to use the remote on him. I keep forgetting we have the remote, but I tried using it on him last night, and I legit could not get him to come. I don't know what to do about the dog. I'm trying to get him to come, but sorry about that. But he was out there barking at the dogs. But anywho, sorry about the interruption. I was talking about Jimmy Neutron a lot. But despite what I've said earlier about, I've talked about how, that in the past we've had sequels and all that, and shows that have come back and all that, and not be as good. Paramount, I will give Paramount this. They've actually have been doing very well with some of this stuff. People have been coming out and saying, like, some of this stuff's really good. Like, we had the whole, thing where, we had, when they brought back the, they brought back, like, Rocko's Modern Life in a movie and all that. They brought that back. And, I mean, well, to be fair, that one's kind of a bit of it. That one's not as well received because, they threw kind of a transgender character in there and all that. And I can't say anything because I have not seen a lot of the original show. I did watch a little bit of it back on Netflix, back when it was on Netflix, but I didn't get to really finish watching it because they kind of took a lot of that stuff off of there. I do have it on DVD, though. I'll probably review the show down the road, but I remember it being kind of wacky. Not very bad, just very wacky, Warner Brothers, classic, or Hanna-Barbera classic, show, how they were very wacky back in the day, kind of like that. And it was very expressive, but yeah, there is like a transgender character in there, and I'm like, I don't know, I mean, if she was already trans, then I won't mind it, but my problem is when they shove in that crap out of nowhere and they never had it in the original. That's my problem. All right, that's my problem. But we had stuff like that, but we did have some stuff like the new Fairly Odd Parents show, not the 2021 show, but the 2024 show, where people actually really like it. People actually are really liking the show. I've seen some episodes of it, but I can't throw my whole opinion out on it because it's also on Netflix. It's also on Netflix, so I'm just like, I can't really, throw my opinion out there, but so far it looks really good. It really does. It looks like it. I do prefer the 2D animation, and I think even Jimmy Neutron, like, when they had their crossover, with the Fairly Odd Parents, I kind of liked their designs a bit more there, but their CGI counterparts weren't bad either, but I'm just someone who kind of prefers, 2D animation over CGI, but even the original show wasn't bad looking, but the thing is, though, I don't know, it could end up being very good. Like, I have more faith in it than other stuff that's come out, like, lately, just because, like, from other studios, because I feel like Paramount has been making stuff, a lot of it's kind of like, a lot of the stuff they've been making that's been coming out has done actually very well and was well received, where there has been some stuff that's not been like, there was the Fairly Odd Parents from like it was like, I think it was the 2021 show, I think is what it was, and they basically canceled it, and then they redid it and made a completely different show. And actually, it did very well. But they did it. They made it very well, and I like that. I like that they do that. When they do that stuff, they try to go back and like fix something, and all that, instead of like ignoring the fans and all that, and like just continuing shitting on people's work and all that. To be fair, though, technically the Fairly Odd Parents already had a kind of shitty person, known as Butch Hartman, who worked on the show. Yeah, Butch Hartman is not known for being the best guy. Like, I've heard he's kind of scammed people and all that, and I think there was, like, some problems behind the scenes because, if you watch the show, as the show went on, you noticed how, like, less and less people were, like, working on the show. Like, how he pushed out Chester and AJ, and then he also pushed out Trixie off the show, and Francis. All those characters were voiced by different people. But yeah, they were voiced by different people. So I feel like I'm not saying like they had a lot of them had issues with them, but I think it's kind of weird, And a lot of the shows he made afterwards, like Tough Puppy and all that, I felt like a lot of the voice actors were gone. a lot of them were like, not even, they didn't even play a role in like Tough Puppy and all that. So, like, or like the voice actor of, you know, Timmy's dad and Vicky and all that did. They still were part of the show and all that. So it felt like something was going on behind the scenes. But I don't know. But I will say, yeah, them bringing back, you know, like having somebody else in charge of that, I felt like they did a very good job. And they could probably do the same thing with Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom, though, I don't think I'd want that to be CGI, though. I mean, I already kind of am a bit mixed on them making, you know, the new Fairly Odd Parents show CGI, but Danny Phantom is one of those shows I feel like they need to just let it go here. I feel like it did better as, like it did better as a 2D cartoon. Like if they're gonna bring it back, they need to make it 2D animated. But I don't know, they might bring it back. I think in the future I can totally see Paramount bringing back Danny Phantom. I mean, they're bringing back all these other shows. I could totally see them do that. And I have a feeling if they do that, they're probably going to retcon some stuff because, well, I've talked about the finale on my show a bit more in the past too, because like Jimmy Neutron, I reviewed Danny Phantom as I told you guys, and I feel like, you know, they had like, I've had some you know, mixed result on the finale. I didn't completely despise the finale like other people, but I didn't like it either and all, and I feel like that's one of those things they could bring back and all that. With Jimmy Neutron, though, like Jimmy Neutron's the show I'm kind of talking about here. I don't know if there's really a lot they could fix about it. I feel like it's already been very good. I mean, but they don't need to always fix something. They could also you know, bring it back and they could bring back the show. Or you know, the movie, as I think I hear they're talking about bringing back a movie with a sequel and all that, having, you know, it focus on Jimmy and all that again, and just have updated animation and it'd be fine. Now, speaking of designs, we have this one here, and I don't know, like, if this is what it looks like or not, but this could be just a fan-made picture too, so I'm not entirely sure, like, what Jimmy will look like, if they'll update the animation or not. Because they don't always do that. Sometimes they'll keep the animation the same. Like some of the character designs can sometimes be changed, but they usually keep them the same. But most of the time they try to keep the stuff looking, you know, identical. I mean, like look at Adventure Time, you know, when they made Fiona and Cake. Now technically that's a you know, a spin-off of the Adventure Time show, but they kept the original art and all that. You know, it looks a little bit different. Like it's got more adult stuff in it, but it's still not like, it doesn't look like completely different. Like it looks still, the characters still look like themselves and all that. They just look like sometimes the eyes will look different and more expressive or something, or you know. Which is pretty cool and all that. You know, but that's the thing though. They can like, you know, bring it back and all and make it look like identical. But I don't know. I'm just looking at this image here and I'm like, if this is kind of what they go with, I don't know. I mean, I feel like, you know, sometimes I feel like these characters these designs go a little too far, you know, like I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna sound like a opinion, like, now I'm not saying too that this is actually what he's gonna look like, but if he does look like this, I don't know, I'm kind of just like, I don't know how to feel about it. Because this is where I'm gonna kind of point out something that people might be mixed on, and that's kind of modern, like, CGI art. Not just on this, on Mario games 2 or something, like, I feel like they look a little too detailed, like, they look a little too detailed, like, they look a little too real. I mean, right here we got, like, Jimmy's hair, like, look how shiny it looks, like, it looks so shiny. I mean, it looks nice, but it looks a little too shiny, like, it looks more, like, real and less fake, you know. And then we have you know, the shoes down here. You know, you see how his shoes are all polished and look a little too shiny, too, like they look like actual shoes, you know. That's kind of my problem, I feel like. That's my problem, I feel like. They kind of do that. Same with Mario, like, I've been noticing, a lot of the Mario games, seems like they're kind of, like, the art looks more and more realistic, and it looks less cartoony, which kind of takes away from the game and all that. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing some, you know, some, like, live-action games. I don't know if we've ever had an actual live-action game where you could put yourself, like, actually inside of a game or something, or like actually real people playing game characters. Which would be kind of cool, but I'm like, I don't want to see these characters look more and more cartoon. Like, I mean, go from more realistic to less and less cartoony. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I feel like they're starting to do. I think I've talked about this in my Pixar movies too. When I went and reviewed them, I was pointing that out, like how they keep, like, that they're making the characters look less and less cartoony and more realistic. Like Toy Story 4, yeah, I remember that. Toy Story 4, I did mention that there, I remember now. I talked about how it looks too realistic, especially with the cat. Like, the cat looked way too realistic. You know, for like, he looked way too realistic for, you know, for a CGI movie, you know, and I'm like, at that point, you could just make live action stuff, you know. I'm like, I'm not saying I want a live action remake of Toy Story, you know, in general. I mean, I'm afraid they might end up doing that down the road because they're running out of live action remakes, but I'm just saying that's kind of how I feel about stuff like this here, or like his design here. Like, I feel like it doesn't fit very well, you know. Like, well, I guess technically Toy Story 4 too is also like it was a random live action looking cat that was like, I mean, he was still CGI, but he looked real live action compared to the other characters, which made it look way off. But that's my problem. You know, I feel like even in general, I don't really want to see that, you know, like Jimmy Neutron here. Like I said, I feel like the shine on the shoes and all that, and his hair, it makes him look more like a toy, like you know, from Toy Story. You know how they look more shiny. It makes them look more like a toy and less like an actual cartoon character, you know. So, like, if you see a cartoon character playing with toys and it looks like this, it just looks a little bit off. But like I said, I don't know if they're actually going to go this route or not. Like, this could be just a fan-made, you know, picture here too. It may not even be real, but I don't know. It looks so good, like so good. It looks like it actually could be real. But to be fair though, I've also found some art on Google, like, which by the way, some of this art looks really good. We have some art of like them looking 2D animation, not in Fairly OddParents style, but like actual like separate art. And it looks really good. So I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know how to feel about this. But also this could be an image taking off of. There's a video game too, like with him in it too, and that could be where it's taking place at, you know. Because I have heard people said they changed the art of one of the games. I don't know which one it is. But I'm just like, again, I'm like, they could only go so far with this before it gets kind of like I don't know. I feel like I'm not saying I despise the art. Like, I actually do think it looks very clean. Like, look how clean it is. His model does look a little off from Jimmy Neutron's original art, but it doesn't look bad. It just looks, like I said, I don't like the shiny hair and the shiny shoes and all. I think that's a little too much. But I don't know. But again, this could be fake. This could not even be real. Or, like I said, it could be based off of the actual game. Because there was a game where they changed his design up where it looks off. I don't remember which game that was because there's also, we got the Nickelodeon, you know, All-Stars and all that too. Where you can play as the Nickelodeon characters and all that. But, I don't know. I don't know what to say here. But I'm probably going to go ahead and actually let things go from here, though, because I do have to, like, I'm going to have to get some stuff ready, and all, because it's getting kind of late. I actually couldn't, like, I was sleeping today, like, I could not get out of bed. What's funny is I'm not sick. I thought I was sick because at the beginning of the week I was coughing. Maybe I was, maybe just, but I think it's because I couldn't breathe very well when I woke up, which is kind of concerning about me, you know, and all that. It's kind of concerning, but I hope it's nothing bad, you know, but I didn't have problems with this last year because they were asking me about that because I was snoring a lot, and I said I didn't have any problems with it, but now it's like I'm having a lot more problems with it, so. But, you know, but I don't know, I'm going to have to talk to the doctor about that when I go on Tuesday, because I'm seeing my doctor on Tuesday. So I'll also discuss that then, but anywho, oops, I don't know why that happened. Anywho, bye. Oh, wait, before I do go, you guys can let me know in the comments what you guys think about this, because the more comments, the better, you know. Because I like to hear people's opinions. As long as you guys are respectful and not, you know, trashing on me, then I'm fine. But I'll talk to you guys later, alright? See you guys later. Bye-bye.